And as well as offshore from the east coast, though, and maybe a mini ridge over Florida, which means that there's going to be some wet weather throughout places like the east coast all the way down to the Carolinas, maybe just a tiny bit in parts of Florida on the central side. And Baja California might get some wet weather in Southern California too. And maybe a chance of showers and snow showers coming into the Pacific Northwest. And finally, by Wednesday night, wait a minute. We do have a trough. It's going to be just located right around eastern Ontario to western Quebec, and a ridge over the Rio Grande Valley in Texas. A trough, mini trough, a small trough over Southern California, and another ridge just over Montana, which means there's going to be wet weather throughout the Pacific Northwest, the desert Southwest, and parts of the Northeast. Let's go back and let's talk, about the tropics. Let's see what we got. So you managed to take some pictures, Wild. I don't know if I already asked you that question. Let's see what we got. Not much chance of development right between Windward Islands and Africa. Plenty of strong winds to deal with throughout much of the northern Atlantic. Maybe a chance of development in the Caribbean and the Windward Islands, but time will tell. Though, let's move on to 24 hours. Quite a mess down there. Something may form there, but right here has better potential. Kind of looks like there's a kink to it, as well as just near Nicaragua. And otherwise, not much is happening due to strong winds aloft. I did manage to get some good ones around the river. Nice! I hope that they are red, those leaves, and orange, and all that stuff. Well, let's see what we got for Tuesday night. By Tuesday night, it's quite iffy throughout the Atlantic, but the Caribbean, something will form just south of Puerto Rico, and a little bit right around the southern end of the Caribbean. Nothing in the Gulf, though. Oh, yes, they were. Nice. Do you usually share, or do you just keep them to yourself, just a curiosity? Let's see, for Wednesday night, you do have a system, a tropical storm, potential tropical storm that's just south of Hispaniola, and there is this upper level high. It's going to sit over Mexico. And what's this going to do? This might move north. Yep, it'll move north, and this system right here, it's going to become like a large, just about a very strong tropical storm, but will make landfall. But it'll end up encountering some local terrain, which means that the system could be as good as shredded. And by Friday night, though, it does become a hurricane, though. But anywhere right around here, it's just a guessing game, even though this one is a little more certain, though. But regardless, doesn't look like as though that there's any chance of development right around here at this time, or even right around there. I don't know. Sometimes I share, most anyway. Oh yes, I share, and sometimes I just keep it to myself. Might share them later. All right. That's neat, Wild. No problem at all. Okay, so this is what Saturday looks like. The system might interact with some very large mountains and might weaken the system because it'll shred the core of the storm. But moving into next Sunday night, the wind field expands, but the system will remain a tropical storm, though. But after that, it's all a guessing game after that, so Nothing much is going to happen after that, though. It'll go into November, though. Then we switch to the European model. Okay, let's see. Maybe a little kink right here, but not much, though. And there's something that could form because of the amount of spin there is in the southern end of the Windward Islands. Moving into tomorrow night, the system does get organized and will build up its own strength. This one kind of looks very iffy. Plenty of dry air might... Yeah, there's plenty of strong winds there, but although they might not be too strong, but either way, it's kind of messy right there. And plenty of strong winds in the Gulf, though. But moving into 24 hours... Yeah, the system does get somewhat organized, but it does not become a well-defined storm, though. Maybe a tropical storm, though, if it can get its own act together. But right now, nothing much is happening in the Atlantic. It's all iffy. I mean, yet you have some barometric swamp in the upper part of the atmosphere, but it's not really going to do much to bring any chance of development whatsoever, but yet plenty of dry air to go around. Moving into the next 24 hours on Wednesday night, though, this system does remain a tropical system to keep an eye on. Otherwise, that's it. But maybe the system just coming out of the Bahamas. Just right near the Bahamas, it doesn't really look like as though that there is any chance of development. But yet, there's strong winds aloft, and this trough might pick whatever that's there out of here. It's going to pick it up and get it out of here. After 24 hours, Thursday night, though, even though the system is not quite organized, it'll make landfall in Hispaniola. And the system right here might try to develop, but it'll be too late anyway. Alright, Friday night, though, you have the system that's getting shredded just before it makes landfall, but yet you have this upper level high. And at the core, there's just somewhat of a barometric swamp, as well as right around the Atlantic. But either way, it's not really going to do much to bring any chance of development in the tropical Atlantic. But the Caribbean has something interesting to keep an eye on. On Saturday night, though, this system gets trapped in the Caribbean, but not much is happening throughout the Atlantic, though. And maybe something could brew right in the heart of the Atlantic, though. And we move on to next Sunday night. The system does try to stand on its last leg. But nothing much is happening, though. And where's it going to go? Probably like right around Nicaragua, Honduras. Then after that, it's all just a guessing game. But this one might end up getting picked up. And will make landfall in the Canadian Maritimes. But right now, it's all just endless possibilities right now at this point. And the using the Canadian model. Let's see what we got. Nothing much happening here. Maybe a chance here, and as well as here, but there's a lot of spin there, and right around here too, in the Caribbean and the southern Windward Islands. In 24 hours, though, do have something that could develop just right on the eastern side of the Caribbean Sea, and nothing much throughout the Atlantic and the Gulf whatsoever. On Tuesday night, though, this system tries to get itself organized, and then you have this very, very strong upper-level winds. Yet they're part of the upper-level high that's over Mexico. But plenty of strong winds aloft. But the northern Atlantic, I don't buy it. Wednesday night, though, it's still disorganized, yet has potential of becoming a tropical storm, though. but might interact with Jamaica, Haiti, Cuba. Now, then it becomes a little more organized by Thursday night, though. This upper level high, well, it has some possibility to deal with, so it might end up shooting upwards. It might get swept up by this upper level high, but we'll see about that. And then this system actually has other plans. Might end up interacting with land in Nicaragua and Honduras, but yet gathers strength, though. Sunday night, though, it gathers so much strength to probably as a Category 1, but makes landfall in Honduras. But what's the point, right? But then again, next Sunday night, they'll still bring in so much rain and wind in Honduras. Then after that, it's all just a guessing game, and then, well, that's all I can say at this point, folks. It's all just us trying to keep an eye on the tropics, whether it's here in the tropical Atlantic or the Caribbean Sea or the Gulf. But this time in October, mid to late October, this is where you'd find a better potential in this part of the Atlantic for any chance of development. And yet with any set of troughs might bring anything from the Caribbean to spring upward into the upper latitudes. Now let's take a look with the National Hurricane Center. So this one does have a 30% chance of development within 2 days, 70% chance within 7 days. And they're all moving westward. Or rather, covering much of the Caribbean Sea whatsoever. But before we can get to the 3-day forecast, just want to point out that there's a lot of past peak colors in northern New England and the northern tier of the country, the Rockies, many parts of the Great Basin, Sierra Nevadas, much of Oregon, and parts of the desert Southwest, mostly on high elevations, and the Smoky Mountains too. And some peak colors are dominating throughout New England, parts of New Jersey and Missouri, Iowa, and as well as just east of LA. And just a little bit of past peak colors. But in the New York City area where I live, well, it's mostly low colors, but about to be moderate colors. But in the lower Colorado Valley, there's no colors at all. It's too warm, as well as the Gulf and Florida. And one more thing. The drought, though, well, there's a red flag warning in northern New England. I mean, right now it's under an extreme drought at this point, folks. And as well as parts of Colorado, but right around on the eastern side. But, however, there is not much drought going on right now. I mean, this is as of the 14th of October, or rather the map is released on the 16th, but this data was valid about less than a week ago. But that could change. And now, let's go back to here, but we're actually going to switch gears to here. Oh yeah, and now let's do the 3-day forecast. So, for the 3-day forecast, let's start off with temperatures. This is not what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do, but this is where I wanted to be. Okay, so now what are we dealing with? Let's see. For you, Wild, or anyone else who wanted to step forward in the chat, let me know where you live so I can tell you guys where your temperatures are, and as well as your humidity, and as well as the Cape, and snowfall, and as well as radar. So let's see what we got. So we do have, for you, Wild, actually, your temperature reading will be in the mid to upper single digits for the low temperature, that is for tomorrow morning. Plenty of above average temperatures along the East Coast, all the way to southern Maine. The Gulf Coast has some plenty of mild temperatures